everybody, and welcome to today's video. This is going to be part 2 of our setting up a Nitrado Ark Survival Evolved server. I'm just going to remind you real quick to drop a subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, as we will be doing a series on these and how to change and alter settings in the future. This is just going to be part 2 of a quick setup guide in basic mode for you guys. So again, if you've got time, just go ahead, drop that comment. It's free. Drop a like. Again, it's free. It helps grow the server. It helps bring this out to other people. Helps me show that you guys like and appreciate these videos and you find them useful. So we're going to be jumping in straight from the last video, which was part 1, which I will link in the cards above, as well as in the comments for you guys if you want to go back and look at that. But we're going to be going over the Genesis settings right here. This is going to allow you to enable or disable building and mission areas. The tech suit powers, this is going to allow you to use tech suit powers on Genesis, which are generally disabled by default. And then this is going to enable or disable Genesis missions. That's completely up to you if you want to do so. Backups, this is going to be a quick way for you to do rollbacks and stuff like that on your servers if you need to completely wipe them. I can do a whole nother video on backups and how to restore your servers later on for you guys. Dynamic maps, this is going to let you do a procedural map if you want to do that kind of thing. Again, we can do videos on that later. Admin logs, this is going to be a whole nother video on how to log your admin logs, things like that. This is going to actually be a very in-depth video, so I will go over that in the future as well. But I will show you guys how to log your admin commands and tribe chat, in-game chat, all of that stuff to your Discord if you want to do that, and I'll show you all of that in a future video. Restrictions, this is going to be relevant if you guys are set up as a cluster. This is going to prevent people from being able to upload and download dinos, items, their characters. Once we go over a cluster video, I will show you how to do a lot of that. Gameplay, this is going to do your tribe name change cooldown. This is going to set in seconds how long somebody will have to wait before they can change their tribe name. Allowing flying creatures is going to allow or disable flying creatures on your maps. Flying inside of caves, you can enable this if you want players to be able to fly inside of caves with their dinos. Enable third person mode, again, just allows you to be in first or third person. Enable crosshair, turns on or disables it. Enables hardcore, essentially when you enable this, when you die, your character is wiped to level 1, you pretty much have to start over. Enable status notifications. Join notifications is a notification every time somebody joins your servers. Enable a join message, displays when somebody joins the servers. Enable leave message, the same thing but for leaving. Local chat only appears to people who are in immediate vicinity of the players. Floating names, again, you can enable and disable this. It'll show their name tags above their names. It makes it easier to identify people. Show players on map, this means when they pull up their map, it's going to actually show you a little like arrow of where you're at on the map if you have this enabled. If you don't, you won't see any kind of indicator on the map at all. Enable global voice chat, sets the voice chat global. Everyone will be able to hear each other, so you'll be able to talk to people pretty much across the map using voice chat if you want to. Difficulty offset and difficulty override, I will be doing a video on how to set this up properly in the future, because this is going to determine what your wild dino level is in game. So this is just the default settings right now of like literally like level 5 to level 50 or whatever. So I'll go over the scale on that more in depth in the future. Maximum structure count allowed nearby. This is just going to be your maximum structures. This is going to, if this is higher, this lets people build larger and more in-depth bases. If this is lower, it kind of limits them to only be able to build so much in a certain area before it says you've hit that build limit, basically. Day cycle speed scale, this is going to be how fast your days go by. Nighttime scale, this is going to be how quickly nights go by. Daytime scale, this is going to be how quickly your days go by. I can do a whole nother video on the appropriate way to set that up in the future. Disproportionate harvest, this is going to be kind of neat if you have like high gathering rates in the game, because this is going to kind of reduce lag with that, so this is kind of helpful. Destroy all swamp and snow structures, you can enable all this, disable it, whatever you want to do. Destroy all wild creatures, if you enable this, when the map restarts, it's going to do a wild dino wipe for you. All item containers lockable, you're going to want to enable this if you want things like your fridge, your smithy, your vaults, things like that to be able to be locked. Otherwise everything's just going to be kind of unlocked by default, which means on a map anybody can just come up and take your stuff. So I would highly recommend enabling this. Dino damage by spike walls, this is going to allow anything to damage wild or riderless dinos. So if a wild dino walks into a spike, it's going to do damage to him basically if this is enabled. Disable loot crates is going to disable or enable drop beams, loot beams, whatever you want to call them, beacons. Hard limit turrets and rage. This activates the hard limit of turrets and rage. If you go over this limit, random turrets will shut down until you go below the limit. This is going to be useful for like PvP mostly. Creative mode allows you to go into creative mode on your server. see, prevent offline PvP connection timer. Set the time and seconds that it takes for your connections to activate prevent offline PvP. This is going to be if you have like offline raid protection. Show floating damage text. This is going to be showing you hit markers basically, as well as like you did 5 damage, 10 damage, whatever. Disable imprint dino buff. This is going to disable the rider buff for imprinted dinos, or enable it. Right now it's currently disabled. Allow anyone to baby imprint dino cuddle. So this is going to allow, if a dino is wanting to cuddle or walk or be fed a certain food, this will allow anybody in your tribe to do it basically. I think it actually extends to people outside of your tribe as well, but the imprint counts for whoever originally imprinted on the dino. Override structured platform prevention. This allows auto turrets on other platforms other than rafts and non-moving bases, so you can put turrets and things like that on top of your Quetzals, whatever you want. Enable extra structure prevention. Use this to completely disable building in specific resource-rich locations. This is basically going to allow you to build or not build in like huge metal node areas or heavy resource locations. Non-permanent diseases. This will make diseases not permanent, so once you die, they're gone basically. You can prevent diseases. This way you don't have to worry about the problem of getting like mega rabies and things like that from like your leeches, etc. Prevent tribe alliances. Pretty self-explanatory. If you have this enabled, you can't have tribe alliances. Allow dino raid feeding. This is going to allow you to feed things like your Titanosaur to keep them alive so that they don't starve to death basically. This doesn't really affect things that don't eat though, so like Titans for example, they don't have a food, so you can't really do much with them. This is still going to make you force feed them though, like the Titanosaurs, you still have to force feed them. They won't auto eat from a trough. Allow hit markers for ranged attacks. No fishing loot. This is going to basically disable or enable fish loot, so if somebody fishes, all they're going to catch is meat, or they'll get like the default loot items if you leave this unenabled. Fast decay, unsnap core structures. This is going to fast decay anything that's like foundations, pillars, things like that. This kind of helps prevent people just spamming pillars everywhere. Tribe log, destroyed enemy structures. This is going to show if you've destroyed somebody's structures in your tribe log. This is mostly for PvP. Force flyer explosive, makes all flyers except for Quetzals and Wyverns become grounded if you put C4 on them. Destroy unconnected water pipes. Highly recommend this. If they're not connected to water intake, they're just going to be broken. Allow crate spawns on top of structures. This is going to allow you to build near beacons, but they'll also just place the beacon on top of the structure instead of it like kind of glitching through it. So it can be kind of buggy, but it's nice. Auto destroy structures. This is going to set a auto destroy timer on your structures, so everything's going to decay after a certain period of time. I'll go over more about this in a future video as well. Same thing, auto destroy decayed dinos. Once they've hit the decay timer, they just kind of vanish. These will not vanish if you're in render distance of them, but if you're outside of render distance, they basically just disappear. If you're sitting there waiting for the timer to expire, it'll just expire and you'll be able to claim the dino. Maximum amount of dinos tamed. This is going to be the amount of dinos tamed for the entire map. So you might want to increase this depending on how heavy your usage is. This does not count cryopoded tames, by the way. Allow stamina recovery while flying. This is going to allow you to basically recover stamina while you're flying. So if you stop in the air, you can regain your stamina. Or if you're like standing on the back of your Wyvern in the air, it can regain stamina. Allow multiple C4 charges per dino. This is going to allow you to put multiple C4 on a singular dino. Allow platform saddle, multiple floors on a saddle, pretty explanatory. Unlimited respecs. This will disable the cooldown on the mind wipe tonics. Prevent spawn animation. This is going to help you spawn faster so that you're not doing that arm scratching thing, which is super annoying. Corpse locator is going to drop that green beam wherever your body is, so you're going to be able to find your body easier. Placement collision. This is going to make it easier to build, so it's like going to actually let the foundations and stuff clip into the floor a little bit more. Just easier building. It's kind of more similar to like the S+ building. Use single player settings. I'm not really sure about that one, to be honest with you. Constant fast decay period. This is going to be how quickly things decay. Optimize the harvest amount multiplier. This is going to give you less major resources like metal and things from metal nodes to kind of reduce lag from your harvesting rates. Clamp all spoil timers to the item's maximum spoil timers. This is going to make everything in your stacks spoil at the same rate as like the top item basically. The flag allows to manually configure the item stats clamp. Again, just going to kind of let you manually configure the spoil timers, or this one's actually specific to like armor, max durability. I'll go over this in a future video. Enable idle player kick. This is going to kick people if they've been idle for too long. No anti-speed hack. Going to allow people to. This pretty much helps with biome transfers. No biome walls. Same thing. Medium dino re-upload interval. How long in between uploads for dinos? I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible, so it's not a super long video. Only auto destroy core structures. This is going to only auto destroy foundations and pillars, things like that. Anything attached to those that are reliant on them for foundation support that will also decay. Force respawn of wild dinos at server restart. You're going to want this to be set probably to a day. This is in seconds, so just do the math on however many seconds that is, or however many seconds you want it to basically do a wild dino wipe. Only decay unsnap core structures. I think we just went over that, right? Only auto destroy core structure, only decay. Oh, this is the decay. It doesn't destroy, this is just decay. Tribe item expiration seconds. This is your upload times for your obelisk, things like that, on how long it will expire. The higher number, again, this is in seconds, the higher number you set this, the longer they will last in uploads for you. Tribute dino expiration, same thing. Characters, same thing. It's just the time that these things will last in the upload counter. Max number of players in a tribe. This is how many people you can have in a tribe. You can set this to like 3 if you want to have 3-man tribes, etc. Limits turrets in range. This is going to allow how many turrets you can have within a certain parameter. Number of turrets in that range. We'll go over this more again in a future video, but as it says right here, a range of 10,000 is roughly equivalent to 33 foundations. PvE disables PvP and enables PvE, so this is going to be able to how you make your maps PvE basically. Prevent offline PvP. This is going to do that offline raid protection. Offline PvP interval. This is going to be how long in seconds it takes before offline raid protection kicks in. Change gamma in PvP. This is going to allow you to increase your gamma to kind of avoid being able to see at night, things like that. Structure decay. Again, just more decay settings. PvP dino decay settings. Again, we'll go over decay settings in another video. Friendly fire. This is going to allow people to be able to hit their teammates and their own dinos. Allow cave building in PvE, allows you to build in caves, pretty self-explanatory. Again, same thing for PvP. Allow flyer carry in PvE. If you enable this, this is going to allow you to pick up other players, random or wild dinos, and other players' dinos. This can result in a lot of trolling. Use this at your own risk, basically. Disables PvE gamma. This is going to disable your ability to use the gamma settings in PvE. Allow structures at supply drops. Again, allows you to build where supply drops would usually drop. System time. Use system time for PvE. Timer needs to be unchecked for PvP to function. I'm not really all that sure about that one. Auto PvE start and auto PvE end. This is a setting you can check if you want to enable PvE for your PvP maps. So it'll start at a certain period of time and end at a certain period of time. This is kind of a good way to set up your maps to like Monday through Friday. It's PvE, but on the weekends you guys have PvP. Again, I'll go over this more in depth in a future video. PvE, this will allow tribe wars on PvE, so even if you guys are a non-PvP map, PvE players can do PvP versus each other. And then PvE allow war cancel, basically. Let's see how many more settings. I think we're gonna have to do a third part to this video for you guys, just because there's a lot more to go over, and I'm trying to keep these videos rather short. So that's gonna end the second part of this video. I guess there will be a third part after all. So I will again upload that along with the first 2 parts of this video, so they're all there, but this way it's broken up into 3 sections and 3 videos for you guys, so that it's easier to kind of digest and come back to if you want to later. Again, if you like this video, if you found this helpful at all, please make sure that you drop a like, a comment down below, letting me know if you liked it, ways to improve, if you have any questions. And yeah, just let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm so grateful that you're here. I appreciate all of you that give me likes, subscribe, help out with the channel, give feedback, all of that. Thank you so much. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.